Welcome back to Awaiting Arrows. I'm Jubilee Lipsy. I'm still here, still awaiting arrows. And if you've been following along with some of my videos, maybe you've noticed it hasn't been that long that I've been making the videos, but I've been waiting for a pregnancy for a lot longer than that. My husband and I are about to celebrate our 8th wedding anniversary, and we have never had a pregnancy. And we've never really, I'm not one of those people that's been on like birth control or anything like that during my marriage, so that has not been a factor. But the main point of these videos is mostly to address, yes, the emotional aspect of it that's difficult to talk about face to face with people sometimes, but also to focus on some of the things that God has been sharing with me as I've been honest with him and opened myself up to his counsel. And one of the things that I've talked about in previous videos is just different verses that God has highlighted to me in different ways during this journey. And one of them is Psalm 73:25-26, which says, "Whom have I in heaven but you? And there is none upon earth who I desire besides you. The strength of my heart may fail, but the Lord is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." And today when I was reading that, I realized something that I hadn't seen before, and that is that we really can't experience God being, like, in order to experience God being the strength of our heart and our portion forever, which basically just means he is everything that we need, and he gives us everything we need. It's all in him. We just come to him and receive everything we need. He's our portion. He's what we need. But in order to experience him being our portion and experiencing him being the strength of our heart, we have to experience the beginning part of that verse, which is, "My flesh and my heart may fail." And I'm not saying that people that are rich materially or have great marriages or dozens of children or whatever, I'm not saying that those people don't experience God, but there is definitely a deeper experience of God that is available to those that are dealing with levels of loss and failure and lack within their own heart and flesh. There's a different relationship with God, a different depth of relationship with God, a different depth, a lot of D's, different depth of dependence on God that you experience when you're faced with the failure of your own resources, or the failure of your own body, or the struggle of a relationship, or the struggle of finances, or things like that. And God definitely gives us ways to mitigate those struggles in practicalities. But Corrie ten Boom is famous for saying that you never know how much God is all you need until he's all you have. So there is something special that people like her experienced with God that those of us who have not been through what she went through have known. And so I was actually encouraged by that rather than being daunted by that. I want to encourage you too, that wherever your heart and your strength and your flesh have failed, we tend to shy away from those things. And especially in America, we tend to believe that there's always something we can do to fix it. Like wherever our flesh is failing, maybe it's not plastic surgery, but we always rush around trying to find ways to delay or fix whatever problems we have. We're not used to just dealing with problems. We want to try to fix it all. But I want to encourage you, and as I was encouraged today, don't be afraid to look at that thing about yourself that's not working, and allow God to be the strength of your heart and your portion forever, and just allow him the freedom to just give you himself and give you exactly what he knows you need. When you look at how children sometimes get so frantic and so panicked over what they want, and it's this small thing in the adult's field of vision, but to the kid it's so important, and it's just so and they get so panicked that, what, I want this thing, Mom, why aren't you getting it for me? I want you to get it for me now. And they harp on it and they fixate on it. And meanwhile the parent is relaxed because, well, maybe not completely relaxed after all the complaining, but the parent has a different field of vision. They understand that little thing that the kid is fixating on is not the most important thing in the world. Now, of course, the things that we're dealing with are not inconsequential. They matter, and they matter greatly, and God understands that. But we have to understand that just like little children with their parents, we don't always have the vision that He does. And so the best thing to do is to trust that in the failure of our resources, in the lack of our flesh and our heart, He is the strength and the portion that we are meant to have. And we don't need to be afraid of facing our lack and allowing Him to fill that with His abundance. So that's what I'm standing on today. And I love that His mercy is so great that He stands with us. Even though He knows deep down that it doesn't negate what we're going through, but these verses are there to show us God's nature. Fortunately, we don't live like people that are crouching in a cave, unsure of who their God is, unsure, who is He? How do we know Him? Where can He be seen? When is He angry? When is He happy? I have no idea how to please Him. That's not our reality. Scripture is full of, evidence of Him is everywhere, but Scripture is full of indications of what His nature and character are like. And we can make these declarations like, the Lord is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. We can make these declarations in faith, even if we don't feel them or experience them the way we want to. We can make those declarations and trust that God will bring us more fully into the reality of them as we continue. So I pray that you'll be encouraged by that and keep hoping as well.